Welcome back to the crypto channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Tether just printed another 1 billion USDT, which is good news for Bitcoin and crypto. So I'll be talking about that in just a moment, alongside what I'm expecting in the short term for Bitcoin, along with multiple other altcoins later in the video. So definitely watch to the end. First of all, starting off on the weekly Bitcoin chart, and right now the price of Bitcoin is still trading well above this previous Fibonacci level of resistance, which was sitting at around 57 to 58,000. And within a matter of hours, over the next one day, we're going to see this weekly candle close. And so for as long as this weekly candle close confirms above around 58,000, which at the moment it's looking likely that's going to happen, then that basically means we will officially confirm the breakout above this Fibonacci level, which basically means the next important level to pay attention to is simply the old all-time high, which is sitting at around 69,000. And also, once we see this weekly candle close actually confirm above around 57 to 58,000, then that previous resistance at around 57 to 58k should become new support. Just in case we see a short-term pullback, once again, I would expect support around those prices. And obviously, when we're talking about the larger trend on the larger timeframes, we're still clearly within a bullish trend, despite what happens on smaller timeframes. So even if we see a short-term pullback or a sideways consolidation on smaller timeframes, of course, we're still technically within a much larger bullish trend here on the weekly chart. And that bullish trend could likely continue, especially while Tether is printing more and more USDT. Because just a couple of hours ago, we saw Tether print another 1 billion USDT. And basically how this works is they print this amount of USDT in advance for people essentially wanting to redeem that USDT for US dollars. So essentially how it works is Tether prints a billion USDT, for example, and then they have that just sitting on the side. But as of right now, that billion USDT that's freshly printed is not in circulation, because in order for that to enter into circulation and start buying up crypto, essentially they need reserves to back that USDT. So basically what happens is large investors, for example, send over millions or even billions of dollars over towards Tether. And basically once Tether gets the actual US dollars in the bank to back the USDT, then Tether sends out that USDT to whoever sent them the US dollars. But obviously for them to do that, they need to have the USDT ready to go, which is what they've just done here. They've printed another 1 billion USDT ready to go. And so basically what this tells us is Tether, the company, expects an increasing demand for USDT, which in turn increases liquidity for the crypto market. Because, of course, if we're seeing $1 billion, for example, flow from USD in bank accounts into USDT in the crypto market form, then essentially instead of US dollars in bank accounts, that is stable coins on exchanges, for example, ready to buy crypto. And we can actually see this in action if we're taking a look at this chart right here. This is the Bitcoin chart on the 3-day time frame. Of course, the price of Bitcoin is the candlesticks, and this green line right here is the USDT market cap. Because, of course, 1 USDT is always 1 US dollar. So if the market cap goes up, that means Tether is printing new USDT. But if the USDT market cap goes down, that means Tether is actually destroying USDT. They're burning USDT. And that's actually what we saw in the 2022 bear market for not just USDT, but a lot of other stablecoins as well. We saw stablecoin market caps go to the downside, and that was simply because a lot of money overall was exiting the overall crypto market, including exiting stablecoins, leaving stablecoins and going back to banks, for example. And so once again, if people are wanting to redeem their stablecoins and get their US dollars back, then they would send their USDT, for example, over to Tether, and then Tether would send the US dollars over to that person redeeming the USDT, and then that excess USDT that Tether is receiving back, that would end up burning. And so once again, if the Tether market cap is going to the downside, we can think of a lot of outflows coming out of the crypto market overall. So there's less and less demand for crypto overall. But if the USDT market cap is increasing, if Tether is printing new USDT as they've just done a few hours ago, then that tells us there's an increasing amount of liquidity, an increasing amount of demand coming into crypto, which is exactly what we've been seeing, especially since the beginning of 2023. And in fact, the price of Bitcoin and the Tether market cap is extremely correlated, as we can see right here. When the Tether market cap is going sideways, usually the price of Bitcoin is going sideways. And if the Tether market cap is going to the upside, if Tether is printing USDT, then usually the price of Bitcoin is also going to the upside during that time. And so once again, due to the fact that Tether just printed another 1 billion USDT only a couple of hours ago, once again, this is considered good news for Bitcoin and crypto. This is bullish. And now if we're taking a look at this Bitcoin chart, this is on the daily time frame, and right now, once again, we're still within a bullish trend, forming higher lows and higher highs, and we still have bullish momentum here in the daily Bitcoin MACD. But just over the last couple of days, we've seen a slight slowdown in the bullish momentum. So as we can see here in the price is obviously slowing down over the last few days compared to what we were previously seeing close to a week ago. But with that being said, once again, we're still within a bullish trend. We have not confirmed any bearish trend reversal, despite the fact that the RSI is overbought. But once again, when the RSI is overbought, that simply just tells us the price is somewhat overheated in the short term, and we're technically due to see some sort of short-term cool-off sometime soon. And usually those short-term cool-offs play out in the form of a choppy sideways price action, basically a sideways consolidation, or sometimes a slight pullback in the short term to help to reset the RSI. But even if that plays out, even if we do see a bit of a short-term cool-off, once again, that can help to reset the RSI, which can actually give us more room to the upside later on. And that's similar to what we saw just here, basically a sideways consolidation and a very slight pullback that lasted over around 1 week or so. And then we had another move to the upside to continue that larger bullish trend that we've been in this entire time. And so that's why I've been saying over and over again here on the channel, despite what happens on smaller timeframes in the short term, whether we're bearish or neutral in the short term, of course, when we're zooming out to the larger timeframes, especially the weekly Bitcoin chart, we are obviously seeing a larger bullish trend play out despite what happens on smaller timeframes. So keep that in mind. Even a larger bullish trend can contain some short-term neutral or bearish price action during the bullish trend. And if you want to trade these moves in the price of Bitcoin or any other crypto, personally, I trade over on Bybit, so I'll make sure to leave a link to Bybit in the description down below and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link down below this video to make a Bybit account and deposit on that account, you can get up to a $30,000 deposit bonus, but only if you use that link down below this video. But for whatever reason, if you cannot access Bybit or if you cannot KYC on Bybit, there is also Bitflex, which is another crypto exchange similar to Bybit, but you don't need KYC for Bitflex. And also right now, there is an exclusive Apple Watch Series 9 giveaway happening over at Bitflex, which ends soon, by the way, but only if you use the link down below this video. And so if you're trading crypto anyway, or if you're preparing to take the next trade, you might as well check out those exchanges, links down below, if you want to get those extra bonuses or enter that giveaway. And if we're zooming into the much shorter term, looking at the 1 hour Bitcoin chart, obviously over the last 1 day or so, we did see a slight move to the downside below this ascending line of support, which was sitting at around 61.8K to 61.9K approximately. But at least as of right now, at the time of recording this video, it looks like the price of Bitcoin is potentially invalidating the break to the downside, because if we simply break back above that point of the break to the downside, so back above around 62,000 with a candle close back above 62,000, then that effectively invalidates this break to the downside, and especially if we break out back above this line right here, which is sitting at around 62.6K approximately. And so just keep in mind that could act as a bit of short-term resistance, but once again, if we break out above that level, and especially if we break out above 63,000, which is this horizontal resistance, then obviously in that case, if we break out above 63,000 with confirmation, like candle closes above 63K, that would be a confirmation signal that we're starting to head more bullish again, at least in the short term. But just keep in mind, over the weekend, we have very low trading volume. And of course, the spot Bitcoin ETFs are not trading over the weekend, which is why I've been saying just in the short term here, honestly, I'll be expecting mostly choppy sideways price action as one of the most likely outcomes over the weekend. And so during choppy sideways price action, it's not always best to have a long position or a short position, but oftentimes you can make a lot of easy profits in choppy sideways price action using a grid bot, for example. And if you want to know more about that and how you can easily profit from this type of price action, then stick around to the end of this video to find out more. And so that's basically the situation for Bitcoin right now. In the short term, in the immediate short term, we're looking relatively neutral, just chopping around sideways, potentially for the rest of this weekend. And then depending on the inflows and outflows for the spot Bitcoin ETFs on Monday, we could end up seeing another significant move depending on those ETFs. And of course, this is all currently occurring within a much larger bullish trend on the larger timeframes. And if we're taking a look at the funding rates, right now the funding rates are still above the neutral rate. So technically speaking, this is a slight bearish signal, at least in the short term. But with that being said, I've talked more about this in my last 2 videos here on the channel. So if you missed my last 2 videos, definitely watch those ones if you want to know more about these funding rates. But anyway, getting into the Ethereum part of this video, this is on the weekly ETH to US dollar chart, and right now the price of ETH is still battling this important area of resistance, sitting in between around 3.4k to 3.5k. And once again, there's less than half a day to go, just a matter of hours to go before this weekly candle close confirms. And so as of right now, we're still sitting just below 3.5k, which means we need to first see a push above 3.5k and then confirm a weekly candle close above 3.5k in order to actually confirm the breakout above this resistance. And in that case, once we finally confirm a breakout above 3.5k on the weekly time frame, whether it's with this weekly candle or another weekly candle, of course, that would be a bullish signal on the larger time frames, telling us that we're likely going to soon head up towards the all-time high, which is sitting at around 4.8 to 4.9k, because that's the next significant level to the upside above 3.5k. And of course, once we actually confirm a breakout above 3.5k, then this area in between 3.4 to 3.5k should become new support, like I said for Bitcoin earlier in the video. And of course, when we're talking about the larger trend at play, we're still clearly within a larger bullish trend on the weekly time frame, forming significant higher lows and higher highs in the price. And if we're taking a look at the daily time frame, obviously something similar can be said on the daily time frame, with the price still forming higher lows and higher highs, trending in the bullish direction. And as of right now, and as I've been saying over and over again here on the channel, we still have a decent amount of bullish momentum here in the daily Ethereum MACD. And so overall, when we're looking at the trend and momentum, we are still simply bullish. It's just right now in the immediate short term, potentially over the weekend, we could see somewhat neutral price action because volumes are a lot lower. And also due to those funding rates, and also due to the fact that the daily RSI is still technically overbought, which technically means we are overheated in the short term and we need some time to cool off sometime soon. And so due to those reasons, as I've said over the last couple of days, just on the weekend, I do expect some sort of sideways consolidation, basically nothing too crazy. And then potentially next week when the stock market opens back up again, if we're seeing those crazy inflows coming in through the ETFs next week, then that could continue to pump the price of Bitcoin along with other cryptos like Ethereum and other altcoins. And speaking of other altcoins, taking a quick look at the price of Solana on the weekly time frame, right now the price of Solana is still running into this important area of resistance, sitting in between around $120 to $140. And so basically in the short term, the price is taking a little bit of a pause from the larger bullish trend, but we're still technically within a bullish trend on the larger timeframes, forming significant higher lows and higher highs. And as I also said for Ethereum on the weekly time frame, once we confirm a breakout for Solana above this area of resistance, so above around $140, then in that case, we could potentially start targeting the old all-time high, which is sitting at around $250 to $260. And also this previous resistance in that case would become new support. And so remember, on smaller time frames, of course, we can see short-term pullbacks and things like that, but on the larger time frames, we're still within a larger bullish trend. And if we're taking a quick look at the price of Cardano on the daily time frame, obviously just over the last 1 day or so, we've seen a slight short-term pullback. But with that being said, we're still much higher than the point of the breakout, at least as of right now, because we actually broke out at around 63 to 64 cents. And so far, the price of Cardano has made it all the way up towards around 76 cents, with the price at the time of recording this video sitting at around 73 cents approximately. And so right now, we're roughly halfway between the point of the breakout and the bullish price target for this bullish technical pattern, which is sitting at around 87 cents. And so obviously, if you took this long position, this breakout trade right here, right now, you would be in some decent profits, especially if you had a bit of leverage involved. Like, for example, a 10x leverage trade from this breakout to where we are right now would give you a 140% profit. And once again, I've been talking about this right here playing out since the price was back down towards 63 cents before we actually saw this breakout. And so as always, if I see these trading opportunities occur on the charts, I'll let you know about it here in these videos. So definitely make sure you subscribe to this channel with notifications turned on so that you don't miss out on these important trading opportunities where you can make a lot of money. And obviously, in order to take these trades, you need an exchange to take the trades on. And once again, personally, I take those trades over on Bybit. Links down below to those exchanges. If you want to get those extra bonuses, then use those links. And if you want to actually know how to take these trades in the price of any crypto, no matter if we're bullish, bearish, or simply chopping around sideways, you can make money from all of that price action by watching these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can long or short crypto to make money if the price is bullish or bearish. And the video in the bottom left is that video I said earlier about the grid bots where you can profit easily from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next video.